Hey everyone, welcome to Sad Panda Presents. This is a podcast about music in which we're going to talk about some albums that we're listening to. Right now we're going through the Consequence of Sound staff pick list of top 100 albums of all time. This time we're talking about number 65 on the list, which is Arcade Fire's Funeral. I'm Andrew.
I'm Shane.
And we have a special guest today.
Hey guys, what's going on? It's Nate Glines.
What's up, man? How you been? Welcome to welcome back, I should say. I don't know if we ever actually put an episode out with you on it before, or if they all got fucked.
No, they've just all got fucked. So
They got fucked.
Here we go again. Let's try again.
We're just really hoping this one works. So how you been, man?
Oh, I've been doing all right. You know, it's getting busy at UPS or at work. Christmas around, so been pretty beat lately. But other than that, doing good. How about you guys?
Go ahead, Shane.
Oh, I'm doing okay. Nothing crazy. Just I really hate this time of year because it's like we had that Thanksgiving break, and then we have 3 weeks of school, and then we have our Christmas break. So this is really the time where it's like everybody's like anxious to get the fuck out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, okay, you got this week we have to really do work, and the next week we're kind of just gonna fuck off, but we still have to pretend like we're doing work. But come on, like, like,
Yeah, I get that way just with work. Like the holidays coming up, a couple days off, I'm already checked out. Like, because I have a week off too after, so I'm gonna have like 11 days straight off from the day before New Year's. Then I have that whole week off. How it works out with the Thursday, Friday, it's like
Nice.
burn 5 days and get 11 off with the holiday, and it's nice. Yeah.
Fuck
Fuck
yeah,
yeah.
man.
hell yeah. Yeah, it's just, it really sucks because this is like, what we're talking about now in class is this is kind of one of the bigger parts that are tested. So we're getting into like physics. So we went through like balanced and unbalanced forces, speed, velocity, and acceleration, and how those all work together. So next week we're actually getting into Newton's laws. But it sucks that we do it this time because like no one's going to remember this shit by when we come back. So we're going to have to basically just reteach all this shit when we get back in January. So
Right.
it is what it is.
Fucking A, man. Well,
How about you, bub? What are you up to?
Man, it's been an interesting weekend. I am currently in a hotel room in Hobbs, New Mexico. So I'm actually in Nate. I'm in your time zone right now.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, dude. We're doing a big repair that requires a bunch of people, and we got to take half the park down at our location up here. So that's happening like first thing tomorrow morning, and I did not want to get up at 4 a.m. to drive up here. So I'm here now. Hence part of the audio problems. Yeah, it's interesting. And then yesterday we had our solar plant down south go offline. So I got to do a bunch of troubleshooting with that. And then we had a backup power supply go out at my home site in the afternoon. So I worked all day yesterday on my day off, and I spent half my day driving to work today. So I got to work my weekend. It is what it is, man. My job is pretty easygoing most of the time. So, like as far as like physical labor and stress, like it's a little stressful, but it's not like it was this weekend. So having one weekend isn't too bad. It just sucks to lose a weekend, right? But it is what it is.
For sure.
So,
man, that sucks, man. It sounds like that sucks. You can't claim it for like overtime or any shit like that.
Yeah. One of the times this happened, my boss told me to go ahead and put in some extra hours and see what happened, but I don't think it actually resulted in any extra pay, but it's fine. I get paid all right, and I knew coming into this job that I was going to have on-call weekends occasionally, so it just sucks when they actually get used.
Yeah.
Sucks when they actually cash that shit in. That's fucking bullshit.
Yeah. Exactly. So, you know, but yeah. You know, my company's been doing all right, so seeing a raise and a bonus don't seem out of reach. So hopefully cashing in on these overtime hours that I don't get paid for will result in like being like, hey, you get a full raise and bonus, and that would be awesome. But we'll see.
Yeah. Go towards your performance review or whatever they do.
God, I hope so.
Your quarterly or some shit like that. Yeah.
Yay, corporate overloads.
Yay! All hail the COVID lords. Yeah.
And Hypnotoad.
Of course.
Oh, I was thinking of that. I couldn't remember the Devo song that we did. That it was about that. The corporate anthem.
The opening track, I believe.
Yeah.
That's where my head was at. I just don't remember the lyrics to be off the top of my dome.
Well, Devo was fun.
No, let's do it again. Do it a third time. I'm just kidding.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, fuck it.
Hey, you know, well, actually, but yeah, we're talking about Arcade Fire. So, are you guys familiar with the band and this album specifically at all?
So, for me, this album is one that my group listened to. A lot of the people in my group that I hung out with listened to, but it just kind of missed me. Like, I knew a couple of the singles off of it, but other than that, it's pretty new to me, this listen through, so.
Right on.
Really? That surprises me. Honestly,
yeah,
I thought this was definitely like a one that you listen to.
No, I should have, though, because I'm going to play my hand right now. This album's fucking great.
Right on. I that kind of surprised me because I feel like just kind of knowing, like, especially since you were the one that recommended the Ugly Organ, I figured this was like in your fucking wheelhouse because this very much sounds like a you album.
Yeah, when I'm listening to this, I'm thinking like it sounds a lot like everything I like about Modest Mouse, and it's just I don't know how this one totally missed my radar.
Oh yeah. No. For this one, I've listened to the shit out of this. My brother was very into we were very into the emo scene, and this is very much that, like all that alternative, like Nutrimilk Hotel and this stuff, and all the stuff that came out in like the early 2000s. We very much were like all over it. Like whenever something came up, we like this one, Hot Heat. Chiodos, like all the emo stuff and independent, like Bright Eyes for sure, Elliot, all that kind of shit.
So I remember Hot Heat.
Yeah, Hot Heat band, some bands.
Yeah, I don't remember which album it was that I listened to, but I listened to the shit out of one of their albums. Because I found out about it in like high school, and some chick that I was into, like one of my friend groups was listening to it, and I was like, what the fuck is this? And yeah, I totally got into that one album, and then I just fucking forgot about the band forever until you said Hot Heat. And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that.
Oh wow, that surprising. That's more surprising than Nate's fucking revelation that you know who the fuck Hot Heat is. That's
yeah. Fucking, you hit me right in a memory that I kind of forgot about.
Knock something loose, huh?
Yeah, man, it was something about the vocalist that just like really grabbed my attention, and just the kind of tones that they were pulling out with their guitar and shit like that. It kind of gave me I hate to say a early Beatles feel, but it kind of gave me that kind of feel back in high school when I didn't know that much about like new music and shit. And I was just like, man, this band is really interesting, and you know, so I don't know. I don't after listening to it for a long time, I was like, yeah, they're nothing like the Beatles, but for some reason, like that, they kind of gave me this British pop vibe when I first heard them.
I could see that. Yeah, and the singer does have that like intensity. I just remember that I don't remember I don't remember if it was them or if it was Action that like on their CD there was a sticker. It says like, "Do you like The Faint or do you like this band? If so, listen to us." And I was like, "What the fuck?" Like, okay, all right, I like both those bands. Okay, that's a weird move, but okay. And then they turned out to be pretty fucking good.
Fucking A, man.
That's something funny to put on your album. That's like something a record store owner would tell you, or the person working there. Like, oh yeah, if you like them, check this out. Not just print it on your album.
Just do it on the album, right? I thought that was a weird move. Like, it worked. It got me. Fuck, like, they got $20 out of my ass. But yeah, I do. Anyway, long story short, yes, I do very much know Arcade Fire.
Yeah.
And this is, I don't remember, I want to say not this one, but I think their next one, was it Jonestown was their next one?
I don't know.
I should have looked that up. One of their albums got, it's The Suburbs. The Suburbs won the Grammy of the Year.
Okay.
No, not The Suburbs.
Sure. Hold
on. One of them. It is The Suburbs. Yeah. The Suburbs won Album of the Year for sure, and that was in 2010.
Okay.
And as it turns out, I'm looking at it right now. I didn't know that they were in the Dumbo movie, the new Dumbo movie.
I haven't seen the new Dumbo movie.
Yeah, I haven't either.
I haven't either. I just looking at it right now. Yeah, they're on the Dumbo soundtrack. Huh. How about that?
Yeah. So I went into this not really familiar with Arcade Fire at all. I think I've heard a couple of like the radio edits of a couple of these songs, because most of the songs on this album are pretty long, and usually they get cut down for radio, right, to like that 3-minute mark. So I think I've heard "Wake Up" and "Rebellion Lies" off of this album before listening to it, but other than that, this is all new to me.
Yeah, "Wake Up" and "Tunnels," or Neighborhood Number 1, "Tunnels," were the two that I've actually heard.
Okay.
Before going into this one.
Hello?
Yeah, this album was kind of I'm not in the same boat as Nate. This one was kind of lukewarm to me. It's not really the kind of thing I super vibe with, but I don't know. I feel like when I was listening to this, the mix for me was very, and I don't know if it's because I was listening to it in a vehicle, but like my work truck has a pretty decent sound system, and this felt like it was mixed super bass heavy and super vocal light, and I have the audio in my truck tuned to bass with -2 and everything else +2 already, so I don't know if maybe it's just the audio in that truck is super unbalanced, or if that really is how the album's mixed, but that's how it felt to me, and that was one of the things that kind of just threw me off a little bit. That being said, I did like a lot of what they did structurally with their songs, like having little like miniature, like I don't want to call it an act because it's not a movie. What is it? Yeah, like little miniature movements in the songs, and then like they use a lot of orchestral instruments. I feel like also because there was a couple of songs that I pretty sure I heard like a string quartet in.
Yeah, there's some that have like an accordion, violins, stuff like that. They probably had like 20 to 30 instruments on this album.
Yeah, and I really like when bands do that. So, definite pluses and minuses. But it ended it's probably not going to be something that I go to a lot, but I don't mind this being in I don't mind this band being in like a general mix, if that makes sense. Nothing turned me off super hard, but nothing like really wowed me, if that makes sense.
Yeah, right on.
Okay, so that's us two. Shane?
Oh, sorry. I guess I got disconnected. No, for sure. Yeah. So this band, you got to really give it to this band in general, because if you look at who is doing what as far as singing and the instruments and things like that, there are a lot of people who do a lot of things.
Yeah.
Like Win and his brother are both on here. Win does the vocals, guitar, piano, synth, and bass. Regine, she does vocals, drums, accordion, xylophone, synth. Like Richard Parry does guitar, synth, organ, piano, accordion, xylophone. Tim Kingsbury does bass, electric guitar, acoustic guitar. Howard does drums, guitar. I mean, everybody plays everything for the most part.
Yeah.
And that's
two xylophone players even.
Right? Wait, who the fuck? That's what? You need two xylophone players, right? Two of them? Okay. Okay, whatever. Right. Because fuck it, I guess, right? But no, I really like how amazing all of these people, how talented everybody is, and how they're all just able to play what the fuck ever whenever they need it.
Yeah,
I think that's a good tribute to what they're doing, and I do like. I mean, for the most part, this album has a lot of different themes, but for the most part, you can kind of sum it up into it's kind of like teenagers thinking about adulthood and then looking back on what you thought about adulthood was in those years.
sure.
And that's kind of the big idea here.
And that's why it's so depressing.
Yeah, for sure. Oh yeah, man, fucking emo shit. Yeah, for sure. And then they actually named the album Funeral because in a short period of I think 3 or 4 family members pass away, like all
Jesus.
at once. And I think that's why they got a little more cathartic when they were writing this, because they're just thinking about life and perspectives of life and how it begins, it ends, and what we thought about, thinking about being an adult and living your life as a kid versus what happens in life when you are an adult. That weird transition from what could be to what is.
Right.
Yeah. And I thought it was pretty interesting how the album started off with the word "and." Like, not too many songs, let alone albums, will start off with "and," like it's a continuation of a story. The only thing that comes to my mind right now when I'm thinking about it is like Minus the Bear, Highly Refined Pirates, where they're like, and then we all bought yachts.
And then what about yeah.
I just thought that was kind of interesting. Like, it's the first track almost seems like it's a continuation of a story,
Okay. Yeah.
I didn't pick up on that.
I didn't either, but I mean, I will say that like this album does have a pretty good flow to it in that you can follow. I mean, I a lot of the lyrics escape me because the mix, at least in my truck, was pretty vocal light, so I had a hard time hearing. My hearing's also super crap at distinguishing words, which is why I ask people what all the time, or I just laugh at stuff because I hope it's appropriate. But
that backfires real hard sometimes.
yeah. But
those.
But I did feel like musically this album flowed well song to song.
Yeah, I'd agree with that. I think some of the songs sound the same, but they're separated. Not the same, but they're, like there's a good separation between the songs of like an upbeat one to a slower one to like another upbeat one that might sound similar to the last upbeat one, but
right.
There's at least the slower ones in there to break it up a little.
For sure. So, I don't know. What are some of your guys' highlights?
Like as far as tracks go, or like things that I liked about the album?
Either or.
All right. Some of the things that I liked about the album was some of the post-production, the sounds in the background, like on Neighborhood Number 4, like Seven Kettles. It's a little bit of a slower song, and it's talking about like how a watched pot never boils. But then like towards the end of the chorus, you start hearing like a tea kettle whistling, and just little details like that I thought were pretty neat.
Okay.
Yeah, I did like that. I do like how they add. I mean, they add so many like little minor things that add to just the idea of it all. Like I agree with Nate that there's a bunch of different things that they do in this album where it's, I don't know, it just adds a lot of flavor, but it's not very overt. That it's just very, very subtle. You know,
kind of, yeah, kind of like nuanced almost.
For sure. And I do like that they are. So this band is they're Canadian. So they do. There are songs that are in French, especially like Haiti.
Yeah.
That's. But what's her name? The lead singer Regine Chassagne. It's she's basically writing it all in that Haitian dialect. So it's not like proper French.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Speaking of Haiti, I thought this song was interesting in that it's a 2-chord song, and I'm pretty sure it follows the same, at least the 2-chord rhythm that they're using is the same as Bloodhound Gang, The Roof is on Fire.
No way, for real?
Yeah, dude. Next time you listen to Haiti, I'm pretty sure it's Haiti. I was driving, so I wasn't writing down anything, but I'm pretty sure it's Haiti. Next time you listen to it, sing along. Hello, my name is Jimmy Papa, and I'm a dumb white guy. I swear to God, it totally works.
Wow, you guys are fucking me up. I've been listening to this album for like 16 years, and I've never heard any shit.
Yeah, it's just
okay. Well,
I heard it. The thing that picked me up, and I don't know if it's the exact same 2 chords, but the number of like steps or what is it? Anyway, like the difference between the 2 chords is the same like audio difference. So if it's not a D and a G, then it's like a C and an A or an E and a B. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I got you.
So it's that same dichotomy, and it's the same it's the same number of like steps, like number of beats for each 2 chords as it is in the Bloodhound Gang song. And I was just like, I don't know what made me pick up on it, but I was just driving along and I was like, the fuck? Like, it's almost the same song. Like they don't have the same like little interlude for the switch in between verse and chorus like the Bloodhound Gang song does. Haiti just sticks to the 2 chords and just rocks back and forth, and that's it. But it totally does work.
Wow, that is oddly perceptive of you, Andrew.
I know. Not the kind of shit I usually pick up on.
Yeah, for sure. That's why I'm kind of impressed right now. I don't know. I do like just other highlights. I do like I just like this album. I think they talk about a lot of different topics, but within the same idea. Like Neighborhood Number 2 with Latkia. They talk about Alexander, and then I just when I was doing research, I realized that they're talking about the dog that went into the Russian dog that went into space.
Oh,
and that's that. The mom should have named you Latkia.
Yeah, leaving with no intentions of coming back. Basically,
absolutely. Yeah, leaving with no. Yeah, exactly. That's the whole thing. Is that it's a one way out, and he's not coming back. I thought that was really neat. and then just kind of finding out that freedom isn't all fucking sunshine and rainbows and shit.
Sunshine and fucking rainbows.
Sunshine and fucking rainbows. Yeah, but that was neat. I do like. I did like that song. I like this band a lot. I think they do a lot of fun things with their instruments. I do like how they could go back and forth between fun and kind of dour, but then like especially like in Wake Up, where it's kind of a slower song, but then they change it up and it turns into like a fucking disco party and shit.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I did really enjoy that about that song. That, like, I think I've been pretty vocal about the fact that I don't super enjoy super long songs, but when they break it up into little mini movements, that's much more enjoyable. And I did like that little. I got the same kind of feel from it. That whole disco feel was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it sounded like ABBA and shit at the end. It was fun. But yeah, I don't know. I think this is one of the better albums that we've done so far. I like all the things. I think it's very deep for the most part, and like, I like that the I like. I don't know. I just like how eclectic they are with their, like, they love the organs and their like kind of grinder fucking sound, and it sounds like it's like that grinder organ sound is like all throughout.
Right. Yeah, I don't know. I wonder if I re-listen to this when I'm not having a shit weekend, if I might enjoy it more. That may contribute to the kind of milquetoast outlook I have at it right at the moment. But we'll see.
I got you. Well, Nate, what's another highlight that you've got? Another positive that you would say?
On my notes, I do have great movements in Wake Up. We just kind of went over that, so. But let's see. The last track in the backseat, I thought the singer kind of sounded a lot like Bjork, to the point where I actually looked to see if it was Bjork.
Get the fuck out of my head, dude! Oh my god! Like yeah, for sure. Like she sounds like either Bjork or the what was that girl in Sugar Rose? It sounded like almost like her.
Oh right. I don't know her name.
Yeah. It sounded like I the first time I was like, wait a minute, I know that's not Bjork, but is it Bjork? I would have known that. I would have known that fact.
Yeah, I liked the In the Backseat song. I thought it was probably one of the, if not the prettiest song on the album. It's fucking beautiful all the way around. The vocals, the music, everything about it's like very pretty. I mean, I don't know about the lyrics because I don't know what the fuck she's talking about, but you know, like the song itself, musically and tonally with her voice, is gorgeous. Anyway,
for sure. And
yeah, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this one's basically about just cruising through life in the backseat, like trying to just get through it.
Skirt responsibilities.
Yeah, pretty much. I've been learning to drive my whole life. I've been learning, like getting ready to grow up. Like you've been in the backseat the whole time, and now you're ready to move on, take the wheel, start your life, I guess.
You're kind of on the right track there, Nate. It is about that, but the real reason that they wrote this song is that the singer, she lost her mother. Her mother passed away, and so what she's saying, what I think she's saying, is that that she's always been learning to drive because her mom was at the wheel. You know
okay, that makes sense too. My family tree losing all its leaves.
And now that her mom's gone, she has to she has to learn how to be an adult, and she has to do things. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Like, be the adult in her life. Yeah. So that was the whole. Yeah. So again, that's why the funeral. Yeah, because her mom had passed away not too long before this album came out. So that's why she wrote that song about that one.
Fuck.
And that's why it's so pretty. It's an ode to her mom. Like, hey, you know, there you go.
That fucking makes sense, man.
I believe Haiti was actually an ode to that lady's mom also, because she like escaped the turmoil that was going on there, if I remember right.
Both of her
my research.
Yeah, both of her parents were from Haiti, and they exiled to Canada because in the early 70s, what had happened was the president had passed away. The Haitian president passed away, and his son ran for president, and it was kind of a sort of like rigged election, like he won, like he is the quote unquote president, right? But he didn't exactly win. So a lot of people were killed and tortured and stuff like that because it was a very militaristic state. And so she's talking about, like, you know, people need to stand up and be right, because I think they had kind of, in Haiti, they had kind of just dealt with dictators and whatnot till like, I think in 2006 or 7 was when it kind of went to a true democracy. So it was just the song about the oppressed people and how they need, like, the nation needs to ask for help from other places to have a true, you know, not fucked up system of government that's going on right at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah, and I believe one of the things from the research or the little bit of research I did, I should say, one of the lines that she says in French is like something about sounding the alarms, and then towards the end of that song, you just start hearing alarms going off, and the alarms actually continue up into rebellion lies.
Yeah,
for sure.
Yeah, that was one of the most dramatic song transitions in the album.
Yeah, that was like seamless almost.
Yeah, I think they very well. I mean, because it very much the beat of the song for Rebellion starts in the end of Haiti, and they just kind of flow right into it. And that was, I think, probably the most like in your face transition, I think.
Yeah, I'd say that, but it was also in your face for sure, but fluid.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, I did like that one. And let's move on since we're doing that. What did you think about Rebellion, since we're on the subject?
Well, Rebellion was a great song. It's not in my top 3, but it's probably 4. Just not making a list, but thinking about it, it's probably 4.
Yeah, I think this is a song I've heard before, but I'm not 100% sure. It just sounded very familiar.
Yeah, it's a good one. I do like the idea of what they're talking about, and it's about obviously rebellion, but I do like when they say what are the lyrics where something and then lies. So it's like,
every time you close your eyes,
lies, yeah. And so the idea is that this kid is rebelling against sleeping because it's one of those myths that, or not a myth, but the things that parents tell their children is that if you don't get enough sleep, you could die because it's more essential than water or whatever. So him not wanting to sleep is his rebellion, if you will. And more
okay.
Yeah, and so more so, it's sort of what I felt was it like doing that is like molding to society is what he's talking about. Like,
okay, I was sorry. Go ahead.
Oh, no, I'm done.
I was just gonna say, I was thinking he was kind of just being like a nihilist. Like every time you close your eyes, lies. Like when you fall asleep and dream, none of your dreams are coming true. Like,
okay, that's a thought.
Okay,
I didn't think about that.
Sure, yeah.
Huh. I didn't think about that way.
Speaking of closing your eyes and interesting lyrics, there's a lyric in "Crown of Love" That's I carved your name across my eyelids. You pray for rain, I pray for blindness.
Yeah.
that was a lyric that's like legitimately stuck out to me. When I was listening to it, I was like, Jesus Christ, this is dark. Yeah, this and this is another song that like transitions into like dance music towards the end. Even though it's very like dark and sullen along the way.
For sure, it's definitely I think it's the only true slow burn we have on this album.
And it is right up until it's not.
Yeah.
So this one caught my attention, not just for the lyrics, but for that too, for the way they organize the movements here. And so that's why I picked up on this one. Anyway, Crown of Love.
If I'm not mistaken, it gets all upbeat when the woman starts singing, right? Like it's all slow and somber when it's the dude. Or am I thinking of a different song?
Maybe I don't.
And then when she starts singing, it actually starts to get upbeat. Maybe I'm remembering that wrong.
Or is that one, or is that Wake Up? I don't remember. I think.
Actually, I think it was Wake Up. Yeah, it is Wake Up. Never mind. You're right.
Yeah, this is the one. I believe this is the one where it's like at the end. It's the It has the lyrics about the. No, it's the wrong song. Sorry, it's been a long day, and I. But this one I do remember. I like. It's basically about a guy who's in love with a girl, but she doesn't love him back.
Something like that, yeah.
So like he said something like giving you gave me your answer or something like that, and then in the little like pre-verse or whatever it is, he's talking about sniffed it out before my mom walked in my bedroom, and he's just basically trying to hide his emotions about this girl not giving him the love back that he's growing more in love with her while she is getting out of love with him.
Yeah, but he's also probably hiding his emotions like in a sock. Just
could be, I don't know.
I mean, I was a teenager too.
Teenager or yesterday, you were driving to New Mexico too.
Oh no, I mean,
I'm just kidding.
Oh, don't get it twisted. I mean, I don't know what you think I do when I get to a hotel room, but it's usually either take a shit or jerk off.
Why can't it be both?
Well, it depends. This time it was take a shit because I got on the road and I like 30 minutes into it, I was like, oh, I got to take a shit. Well, that's the first thing I'm doing when I get to the hotel. And then I jerked off, but whatever. Okay. I don't know if we lost Shane or not. Okay. Well,
hey, Andrew, what's going on, man?
Oh,
Just kidding.
just talking about jerking off.
Oh man. AKA recording a podcast. We don't want you to miss anything, Shane.
No, we.
Yeah, we can talk about the album. We don't want him to miss any of the jerk off talk.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know, man. You have any other highlights, or do you want to move on to lowlights, or did you have lowlights? Do you have any P songs?
Yeah, I have a P song, but I am gonna butcher it because I don't speak French.
Oh, is it the yeah.
Third track, that Unan Sans Lumiere, or whatever.
It's probably closer than I would have gotten.
What about you? Did you have a P song?
What you're looking for, Nate, is it's basically the song is "The Street Lights Are Out."
Oh, okay.
It's just down in French. Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm gonna have to agree with you there. That's gonna be mine too.
And it might be a great song. I didn't read the translations on this one. It's just didn't really catch me, so.
Yeah. Yeah, this was, if I remember right, this is also kind of a slow burn, if I remember right.
Yeah.
It is.
And yeah, this one didn't catch me. So the thing about Crown of Love being a slow burn song that did catch me versus this song, Crown of Love to me felt, how do I put this, bigger, musically speaking. It felt more full, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
This one,
like it had more. It was a more full sound.
This one didn't,
uh-huh.
and I, on top of that, didn't understand it, and I don't know, it just didn't hit me the same way. So I don't know, Nate, why is it your P song?
It's basically the same reason. It's a little bit slower. I didn't understand it. I didn't translate it to understand it, and
Right. Okay.
that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Were you just
Yes.
were you just yelling at your CD or Spotify or whatever you're listening to, saying "Speak
Yes.
English, this is America"?
Yeah.
I can't understand you. Go back to your country. White power.
Turker Gerbs.
Gerbs.
I kept thinking of Clavon. Was it Clavon Biggs or whatever from the Dave Chappelle?
Yeah.
The black white supremacist.
Yeah.
Which chain chang talk. I can't understand you. Go back to your country. White power. So, excuse me.
Hey man,
So,
don't die.
Essentially, I'm trying not to. I'm resisting every urge. So the idea here is that what's happening is basically there was a funeral in this family, and what's happening is the dad is kind of removing himself from his emotions, and is like becoming more detached because of this funeral.
Okay.
So and so they keep saying in the lines it's he's like a horse with blinders on, so he's kind of trying to ignore his own emotions and trying to push that down so he doesn't show anybody.
Sure.
All right.
And it's kind of like I think it's the daughter's perspective of seeing her father that way. Like
All right.
becoming detached and becoming more sullen and things like that. So you guys are
What about
assholes
you?
for thinking.
It's like,
oh,
do I? Yeah. It's like, what are the ones that I didn't like? Oh, that one, and then a different one that's probably not a
maybe
good one
there's
to
a different.
say.
You know what?
I'm just kidding.
I really didn't like Seven Kettles now. I don't know. I didn't have like a heavy P song, to be honest with you. I like this album a lot. I think it flows well. It does a good job with everything. It checks a bunch of my boxes because
Right.
I mean, it's like I don't know. I love it has that like Cajun feel to it because I don't know. I guess it's just the accordion, but like that.
It's that French. They're French Canadian, so
Yeah,
and
that's
the Cajun.
honestly,
they're French, so maybe.
Yeah.
you
Yeah,
know what I
man.
mean.
I mean, there is some
'cause,
accordion
Haitian,
there, and
a lot of Haitians.
there is some Haitian culture in Louisiana. So
Yeah. So this honestly, it kind of reminds me of like a New Orleans funeral almost, but just with more strings instead of horns. You know what I mean?
Sure.
Because
Yeah.
it goes, because if you've ever seen one, they they play a sad song, then they'll play a happier song, then they'll play a sad song, then a happy song, then they'll play a couple sad songs, and then a happy song. So, I that's what I think. I think that was kind of the idea there, but
I mean, it'd
just
be
more
fitting for a album named Funerals.
Yeah.
yeah, right. So that's kind of what just for me, I feel like that's what their idea was, that they want to kind of oscillate between enjoying like the good parts of life versus the shitty parts of life, and then looking back and forth of what you thought life was going to be when you were a kid to what it is now and how you thought back then, like looking at those two different perspectives.
Sure.
Yeah, I forget which song it is, but it's talking about how like we're our own gods of the storm, and everything we touch rusts or something like that. And then later on, it's talking about like Thor and throwing lightning, like lighten up the way in front of you or something along those lines.
Is that
I don't remember what song it is though.
was that Power Out? The Neighborhood number 3?
No, it was later. I believe that's in Rebellion.
Is it in Rebellion?
Is it? Okay.
I think so. I think it's either in Crown of Love or Rebellion. I can't remember. No, I think it's in, or maybe it's Wake Up. I can't remember. I've had a weird.
Anyways,
I'm not sure.
I used to. yeah.
Yeah, I don't
We're
know.
all just scrolling through Genius right now.
Pretty much.
Yeah, no. Well, no. I feel bad because there was a time I knew this album like line for line, and I guess I hadn't listened to it, and I hadn't listened to it in so long that it's weird to come back and I can't remember the words anymore. It's like, what the fuck? I'm usually pretty good at this shit.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. But
I will agree with Andrew, though. The lyrics are a little softer than... Well, maybe it's just there's so much going on that the lyrics just kind of...
They get kind of
fade
drowned
in
out.
with everything. Yeah. And I was... Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to say, I was reading something about how this album was actually mixed on analog instead of digital. I don't know if that would have anything to do with it.
Maybe. I mean...
Well, I guess older albums, you could still hear lyrics and vocalists, so...
Yeah,
it's probably a choice. I'm sure it was a choice in post.
I'm sure it is. Like, you have, I mean, when you have professional audio, you have somebody that's in charge of mastering, and that's you have your producer,
the audio engineer,
and you have like a mastering engineer and stuff like that, and that's shit that takes. I mean, it's like any profession, right? It takes decades to perfect. So, maybe
this is a debut album. For $10,000 is what the budget was, so maybe they couldn't get the best guy,
Right, and I mean, even then, like, it's just one of those things where it's like maybe they were just like, yeah, the lyrics are soft, but we ran out of money, so fucking push it out. Or maybe they're just inexperienced enough with it all that they thought it was fine, and it is. Don't get me wrong.
I think it works. I think it still works.
Yeah, the production quality here is not bad. It's very good.
Yeah, when I saw it was like a $10,000 budget, I was like, oh damn, it sounds really good for that.
Yeah, like I wonder how much of this was self-recorded for that kind of a budget. You know what I mean?
Almost like 90% of it. Like
probably
they recorded this album in a hotel,
right?
And if not in a hotel, that I think at Dude's house,
yeah,
at Wynn's house, I think. So,
and
like,
go ahead.
I was gonna say, just think about what Nate said. Like, this is a debut album,
right?
And it's number 65 of like all time.
Well,
and,
like, Rolling Stones. Sorry, go ahead.
Go ahead. Yeah, no, they put.
I was just gonna say they put it at 500 on their 500 greatest albums of all time list. Yeah. Just November 22nd of this year.
Oh.
When they revamped their list.
Fucking
for sure. They put it at number 500 for sure. So like, not only is this a newer album, which that's why I kind of went away from Rolling Stone because they got a hard on for the 60s and 70s, which good time for music for sure. But there's new shit too.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
Well, I mean, that era of music is just like it's a lot of you get a lot of sounds that have never been heard before because
I get it. It's fucking god tier of all music, but
it is it's the debut of what can really be done, right? Like, listen to anything fucking recorded in like the 30s and 40s. It sounds like dog shit. Because they didn't have the technology. They were fucking recording onto wax fucking reels and shit like that. And tape came along and changed all that, and you don't see that get super popularized. And this is all speaking out of my ass, so it's probably wrong on a lot of levels, but you see a lot of that like recording technology get super popularized and accessible. Accessible is probably the key word there until the 60s and 70s, maybe the 50s. And so you start hearing, on top of that, you have revolutions with not just electric instruments, but like So like guitar amps and guitars and fucking sound equipment to be able to fucking put out these big fucking sounds and actually play concerts. And so you hear a lot of music that just revolutionized what music could be.
Yeah.
And so I think that's why everybody has a hard on for that kind of era. But I agree with you. I want to see more popular music doing the podcast. So that's why we went with this list.
Yeah, I could also see Rolling Stone having some like nostalgia glasses for when they first launched their magazine too. Like,
yeah,
all those bands helped them out a ton to get to where they are now. You know,
well,
They were named after a Bob Dylan song, for sure.
right, and I'm sure that like as time goes on and they have newer and newer writers and newer and younger editors and stuff, like you're gonna see the lists over time get updated. So like
and let's
Nate
be
was
honest,
saying, this is actually on their 500 of all time.
and I was going to say, let's be
which
honest,
it wouldn't
500
have
on a
been
list of
in the 90s and early 2000s because it didn't exist. But obviously, you know, like you have people that have been working for Rolling Stone magazine for a decade, and they all are older people, and so you know they're going to have a giant raging boner for Hendrix and Led Zeppelin and the Beatles, right? Rightfully so.
Yeah.
But anyway.
What I was going to say also is, let's be honest, 500 on a list of 500 is
So I
probably
just
like
took us way off the
450,
track.
but you need a... Oh, am I not coming through?
Are there
Andrew's
any
just
other
an asshole and
points
interrupts.
y'all want to talk about with this particular album?
Well,
Hey,
Nate
are you
had a-
hearing me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, cool.
Andrew, can you hear Nate? Or me?
Oh, I don't think he can hear us.
He can't.
Yeah.
Anyway, go ahead.
All right.
Go ahead and finish.
Fuck
your
it, we'll
thought
do
with
it live. I'm just kidding.
Fuck
No,
it,
what I
we'll
was...
do it.
What I was gonna say was something that comes in at like 500 on the list is probably somewhere in the mid 400s. They just need that name, like Arcade Fire Funeral. You know, like they need a good album to be there to grab your attention. Like,
Yeah, for
you
sure,
know.
to grab your attention.
It's like the whole
sure.
Tadpog with Final Fight being number 100 on IGN's list, where it's like a game to catch your attention. Although that one probably is worse than 100. This one's probably better than 500. I don't know.
For sure, and also I don't know if you're caught up, but they're very wrong about Animaniacs. That should definitely be on the top 100 because I fucking love that game. Anyway, yeah, no, I agree. I think they put it on there just to catch the name, because especially if their next album, or their not the next, the one after that, won the fucking Grammy. So
yeah,
they're probably up there. And I mean, when this came out, like when you look at different like albums of the 200s, this ranks in like the top fucking 5 or like the top 10 easily on like everybody's list. Like Pitchfork, Consequence of Sound, Rolling Stone. Everybody put this in at least. I think it was like 5. 5 was like the lowest that I saw of the 2000s.
Yeah.
And I think one of them said that only Kid A was the one that beat him out.
Yeah, I read that too.
Yeah, but that's fucking Radiohead. You're not gonna.
Yeah.
You're not gonna shake that Titan. Whenever they have an album, they're gonna fuck everything up.
Yeah.
That's what I remember my brother when the new Tool album came out last year. I remember my brother sent me all these. He sent me a bunch of like memes and stuff. Like how is Taylor Swift losing to a band like it's not the most popular song than this band that was out for 20 years ago? Like, well, you don't know the power of Tool. Like they're an odious machine that whenever they drop an album, it's gonna be everybody's gonna fucking listen to that thing.
Yeah, man, for sure.
I don't know. Anyway, as far as highlights, man, I could go on and on about all can go through every song and talk about why it's amazing, but
Well,
but I'm good. So I want to hear you guys' lowlights. I want to hear what y'all have to say about it.
Oh yeah, we did that when you disconnected, I think.
yeah, I think you missed it. We
Oh,
were
okay.
talking
Well,
about that Streetlight song.
The third
Oh
track.
yeah. Oh, that's when I came back. Oh yeah.
yeah,
Is
yeah,
there-
yeah, yeah.
Well, is there anything else that you don't like about this album?
I wouldn't say there's stuff I don't like. Even the track I would be my P song. I wouldn't say I don't like it. It's just not as good as the others, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Heard.
I don't know. I think, like I said, I didn't love this album, so there's a song here and there that that's either forgettable or I just don't didn't resonate with me.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think just that just Un Ensemble de Mer was my lowest light.
Heard. See,
What about you, Bubba or Shane?
yeah, for me, like the one that this is a weird one. It's the one that I don't like the most, but I think it has the most interesting lyrics. I think that the concept is the most interesting. Is Seven Kettles.
Okay.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So when and when he talks about watch pot never boil, that shit gets a little on my fucking nerves because he says it a bunch and all that kind of stuff. But I do like the idea that he's talking, that he's talking about time and the inevitability of time and how it continues. And even though a watch pot never boils, it's going to do it eventually. It just seems like it's going to take forever in that moment.
It's like waiting in the
growing
doctor's
up and-
office.
Yeah, man.
Before you have to wait again in their room.
Yeah.
Little back room, right?
I was fucking here when you told me to be here. So see me. God damn it. Sorry.
Oh, man. Oh, no. Oh, see, okay, so when I was a kid, my doctor lived down my street, and he was like, he got sued all the time, so my dad was his lawyer, so every time I had to go to the doctor, he would like let me in the back door, and I would just go right in, like, for that waiting
Sounds
shit.
like a lawsuit right there.
That waiting shit, like, that waiting shit. I don't think I had to wait in the doctor's office until, when I had to go take a piss test. I had to take when I worked at when I worked at the pool, we had to take we had to go pee, and then we had a blood alcohol and a pee test.
For a lifeguard job?
For a pool?
Yeah.
Oh,
Damn.
did you work at the base? Is that why?
No, I worked at Kingsville. I worked
Fucking
at Brookshire.
for a
Dude,
lifeguard job?
I used to let you. Yeah, I used to let you in, dude. I had the keys and shit. Like,
Yeah. No, I just didn't know if like maybe you worked at the base also, because that I could understand why they would go through that. But for fucking Berkshire, they made you go through that bullshit.
Yeah, for sure.
That's
In fact,
hard R
that's why-
retarded.
well, that's why my boss was always nervous to ask me to come back, because she's like, I don't know if Shane, can you pass a drug test? like, well, I can make it happen for that one time.
Just
I can
don't
pass the one, because
just don't fucking random me.
yeah, for sure. You random me, we're fucked. I was like, hell, Susan, I'll pass. I'll stop smoking for a bit, but that drinking shit, we have to schedule that on a Wednesday, because you schedule that shit on a Monday or something, I might be too drunk to fucking take the thing.
Yeah, yep. Yeah, man. I fucking so like I've never had I've gotten piss tested for like every job I've had except for like the few restaurant jobs I've had, right? And no worries, like I pass every time because I'm not stupid. Like I know if I'm looking for work that I'm gonna get piss tested, so I'm gonna lay off the chocolate milk for a little while. But I was talking to some of my Canadian engineers, because like we're my organization is fairly new to the U.S., but we've had sites in Canada for like 10 plus years, and so I call those guys all the time to get help because I don't know what the fuck I'm doing. Like I'm learning, but this industry is totally new to me, and so I call those guys all the time. And I was talking to one of them, and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, drug tests in Canada aren't a thing. They aren't really anywhere in the world except the U.S." And I was fucking it boggled my mind because like I don't know, I grew up knowing that was a thing, and that's just always been a thing. And I'm an American like, everybody else in this country. And the U.S. is the only place that is actually real. And so that's just how I thought it was everywhere because I'm a dumb American, right? And that boggled my mind anyway. The more you know.
So you're saying just do all the drugs and move to Canada?
Pretty much,
Got it.
yeah.
Heard.
Sweet.
I mean,
that's the moral of that story.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, I asked him, I was like, okay, so like, if you're like driving a forklift and you fucking stick the forks through somebody's car, are they going to piss test you? And they're like, oh yeah, for sure. Like,
yeah, just don't fuck up.
Yeah,
if you fuck up, obviously
you do something real stupid, they're going to drug test you. But like, if you just do your job, it's just not a thing. And I thought that was a super novel idea.
Oh yeah, no, there was a whole fight for teachers. This is we as a union the state is not allowed to drug test us.
Huh.
Yep. For UPS or the place I work, I'm just kidding. You can leave that in. We're union also, and we have like in our contract, most of it is just about drug testing and protocol and all sorts of stuff like that. Like our 200-page contract, probably 20 pages of it is what to do when you get caught doing drugs.
I mean,
don't go to work with it. You know?
Yeah,
what I mean?
yeah.
That's the thing is like when you get home, that's your fucking business. That's you know what I mean.
Well, it's the same thing with every job, right? Like, I mean, you're talking about. I guess I can understand it for like, I don't know, heroin and meth, like but it's pretty obvious when someone walks into the office if they're a fucking meth head.
Yeah.
Like
if they're fucking tweaking, yeah, for sure.
Like
they steal your nice pen after the interview.
Just kidding. Like I ran a restaurant for a pretty good while, and like when an applicant came in that was a meth head or you can tell, like you can just fucking tell, like. When they draw a picture of Jesus on the application and they just draw doodles all over the place, like, I'm sorry, but they're fucked up on something. Like you don't just doodle all over an application if you're not fucked
that
up.
Was really that was really specific, Bubba. Did that happen one time?
Oh, is
that a true file?
Oh, yeah.
They drew Jesus on there?
Yeah, well, oh, man, this was a long time ago. But I got an application at Pizza Parlor, and this dude, like, nice guy or whatever, but his application was covered in like little doodles on the margin, and there was like a picture of like an eye with a tear, and it had this little caption on it that said like Jesus cries, and it had all this weird stuff just all over this application, and I was just like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you don't.
What if he thought Jesus' last name was Cries and not Christ?
Oh man,
it's the eye of Jesus Christ.
Oh,
he's always watching.
That's the best interpretation I've ever heard of that. Oh, dude.
We lost Shane. We broke him.
Yeah, you did. Oh, man.
was like the wipeout laugh right there.
But here's the thing, man. Like, I knew some other, let's say, business managers around town, and this dude had submitted applications all over town. And I mean, either the dude was fucked up on something or he had mental health issues, and like,
That's his American Psycho perfect business card is one with just like doodles all over it.
Yeah, and like, it sucks if he had mental health issues because he came off as a fucking tweaker, right? But
Yeah.
we're like, we're not gonna hire that guy if he's tweaking. Like, it's gonna be an unreliable employee. So it's pretty obvious, is I guess what it all boils down to, and I don't need to go much more on a tangent about drug testing.
Yeah, I got a kind of funny story. So my buddy, we'll just call him John. His last job he got, not where he's currently at, but the one before that, they drug tested him, and he failed for weed. And he's like, "Oh fuck!" And they're like, "No, we just wanted to make sure you weren't doing like heroin.
Yeah.
Like we don't care about weed."
Yeah.
Like it's like, "Oh, okay, cool." Still got the job, and
Well, that's the thing, right? Like,
Well, yeah, I mean, it's whatever.
yeah.
Well, y'all see that it passed in the Senate?
it passed in the House. The Senate's going to kill it
I'm
unless
sorry,
the
yeah,
runoff
yeah.
election in Georgia goes otherwise. So make
That's
sure
right,
if you're in Georgia, you're voting.
Please and thank you. Drew and Bailey, get your fucking ass
Yeah.
out there. I know you already did the one time. I saw that I voted from Bailey, but I want to make sure you do it again. I've got cousins there, but they're going the wrong way, so I don't encourage them to vote.
Are they doing the West Virginia mate and call?
Yeah. No. Yeah. Yeah.
I just fucking kidding.
I mean, yeah. Speaking of fucking drugs, so Nate, have you ever heard of a West Virginia mating call?
No, but it sounds like where you fuck your sister.
No.
Here, you
No?
want to hear it?
Okay.
You want to hear one?
Yeah.
I got a call right here. You just take a pill bottle and shake it.
Okay. I couldn't tell if that was like a shaker, like with ice, or what that was. But yeah, pills. That sounds about right.
No, man. There's a. So what that reference is, what Shane's referencing is, there's a documentary called "The Wild and Wonderful Whites of West Virginia." It's wild. It's fucking wild
And wonderful.
Yeah, dude, check it out. It'll blow your fucking mind.
All right. What's it streaming on?
I don't.
Oh God, I don't know.
I don't remember. I think I saw it on Netflix, but I don't know.
It was on Netflix like shit.
Like 5-10 years ago.
Shit, it was like a decade ago. Yeah, I haven't
Holy
seen
shit!
it
I
there.
didn't even know West Virginia had people living there 10 years ago.
Yeah, right. No, hey, somebody's got to
Just kidding.
shovel that coal.
Yeah, man. It's all coal miners.
And Bob Murray just died. Never mind. Never mind.
Right.
Sorry, that's side
Is
tangent.
that the squirrel guy?
What?
But,
Sorry, what was that?
Nothing. But basically, I only know about that because Andrew showed me. But Hank 3, when that Straight to Hell, he did the Legend of D. Ray White,
Yeah,
and that's what he was, the patriarch of this family.
right.
And what he did was he basically fucking milked Social Security.
Well,
He
he
played the system.
he played
to
the
where
system
all of his
hard.
family. Yeah.
and
But
he
to
was a
his
smart
defense-
motherfucker.
Yeah.
A bunch
To
of his
his
family
defense,
isn't, but
he-
sorry, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Well, to his defense, what happened was he kind of worked at like one of those Ford towns, like you know what I mean. Like he worked for the mine town, and he only got paid in like mine money, and he could only work at the mine store. So kind of like a pseudo indentured servitude.
Yeah,
Yeah. It's
So like I don't know if you know that song 16 Tons by Ernie Ford, where he's like, I spend my money, I was born one morning, and anyway, He was just very he was very pissed at the fact that he was kind of treated that way. So when Social Security came out, he basically became a lawyer and just fucking found loophole after loophole after loophole and basically just set his whole family up to be on Social Security so they don't have to work or do anything for the rest of their lives.
Yeah, and like Medicaid and whatever other social welfare systems they have in West Virginia.
Yeah, well, that was fine until about 2 generations later, where
where CPS took my baby.
Yeah, and they're just god awful human beings.
Yeah. His legacy didn't live up to him. We'll put it that way.
Yeah, they went that Great Gatsby shit real hard and just said fuck it all.
Yeah. But anyway, y'all want to get back on track?
Back to Arcade
what
Fire.
songs did you guys like?
Yeah.
What are your top 3?
Yeah, let's do top 3.
All right, so let's do top 3s. All right. Okay.
Shane, go ahead. What's your number 3?
My number 3 is going to be Wake Up.
Okay.
Hey.
I love that song. I think it's so fun. It's such a good song. It has that it's almost symphonic where it goes up and down and like changes, and it's, I don't know. I love that. I love that song. I think it's amazing.
Fucking A, man. Nate,
Right,
number
so
3.
Who's next?
Mine is also Wake Up.
There you go.
Yeah. Keep it short, keep it simple.
I'm going to assume same reasons.
What I was going to say, what about you? Yeah, pretty much the same reasons, yeah. What about you, Drewski?
I'm going to say Haiti because it can overlap with the Bloodhound Gang song.
It's a solid enough reason as any, I guess.
It's not a bad. It's also it's a good song in its own right. But I the fact that I came across that coincidence just tickled me pink.
Yeah.
So Shane, number 2.
Right, so we're going to number 2. Okay, number 2. I'm going to go in the back seat. I think that is the most heartfelt song in this entire album.
Okay.
It's very pretty. There are better sound-wise, better songs, but the way that since this is like an ode to her mother, and how it's very like very simple and sweet, is really, really good. It touches me in a way.
Fucking A, man.
In the way, it touches me the way like my uncle used to. Anyway.
Okay, Nate, what's your number 2, man?
My number 2 is Tunnels. It's just a fun song, like sneaking out, chasing a girl. It's fun.
Sure.
Yeah.
Oh, we didn't
upbeat.
talk about that one.
Not really, no.
That's the intro.
Yeah, we touched
yeah.
on it at the beginning, but we didn't like do a deep dive on it.
Yeah, I like that one a bunch because it's you see this kid who comes from like a fractured home, and he's trying to see his girlfriend, and then they're planning for the future. So like when I said like that when kids are trying to be adults, and then like when looking at adulthood, that's very much this song. Is that they run off to the middle of the town and they hang out and they're planning their future about what they want to do.
Yeah,
but they have no real grasp on what it is to do adulting.
Yeah,
they ask like why are our parents this way? Why are they this? Like why are friends this way?
Because this song also had a line that stuck out to me that I thought was funny. It said, then we tried to name our babies, but we forgot all the names that we used to know. And I was just like, how do you forget what names are? So I thought that was funny. Anyway, go ahead, Shane. Sorry.
Well, I thought that was more of an idea where they were like it's from.
I'm sure it was metaphor, but like I just thought it was a funny line.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of metaphors in this song,
Oh yeah,
or a lot of lines that you can interpret multiple ways.
Right.
Oh yeah, this thing is just riddled with fucking metaphor and allegory and all that kind of shit.
Riddled with herpes.
But I thought riddled with riddled with her. A, B, and C. I don't know, but that line that you brought up, it made me think of. I thought that the idea was that when they were talking about it, we came up with all these names.
Right.
But then when he's thinking about it, then he forgot what the names that they came up with. Does that make sense? Like,
yeah.
That's that
no.
looking forward and then looking back at the same time.
I
Yeah.
picked up on it. I just thought it was just a funny line to me. That was all.
Yeah, it's a fun fun turn of phrase for sure.
What about you,
where you at, Bubba?
Drewski? What do you got for number 2? I almost said, what do you got for Tunnels? What do you got for number 2?
I'm gonna say "Crown of Love."
All right, that's a good one. I like that one.
The first time I heard this song, I didn't really like it. But as I listened to this album pretty much all day, it grew on me, and then it also has like the little movements, and I liked the kind of end movement of it, and I thought it had some funny lines in it too, even though it's super dark. And the music's just really good, and this song, even though it's probably the slowest burn on the album, it just, like I said earlier, it had that bigness, that fullness to it that just stuck out, and it stuck with me. So that's why it's my number 2. So Shane, number 1, Bubba.
All right, so my number 1 is going to be Neighborhood number 2, and that's Lakia.
Okay.
I like this one a lot. I love the idea of what they're doing, like that Alex is leaving town and he's not looking back. But also I like it because it reminds me a lot of a modest, like this is the most Modest Mouse-y sounding song.
Oh, for sure.
Right?
This is the one where I'm like, after the first one kind of Tunnels kind of sounds like, or Neighborhood 1 Tunnels kind of sounds like Modest Mouse, and this one I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, this is where I'm getting that Modest Mouse feel for sure. Like, then you hear it in a lot of the other songs too.
Yeah, it's like Modest, like even his voice. He doesn't always sound like the dude from Modest Mouse, but this one he absolutely, like that's when he screams it, like when dude does it.
Yeah, that. Wow! Like,
Alexander! Yeah, for sure. Yeah. I like that a lot, and I just think I like the idea of I like the idea of the song. I like the pacing. I like how the accordion on it and all that kind of stuff. And it's kind of this urgency of leaving and like getting the fuck out of this. Like I want to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah,
I like
getting out of here, and I'm not looking back, and yeah.
Yeah, but then it's not as
good as he was hoping at the end.
But still,
yeah.
You know, it's that you have to. That's how you learn things. Like Rousseauian, you don't know what a situation is going to be until you're there.
Yeah, so how did you interpret he got bit by the vampire? Did you interpret it like he started doing like heroin, like putting it in his veins? Or did you interpret it as just like fell off and turned into like an evil person, for lack of a better word?
I always thought that that he not exactly. I wouldn't say heroin exactly, but I think I think the being bit by the vampire is that the cold, dark reality that sets in you, like. You know what I mean? Like everything, you think it's bad now, but then when you live on your own, you know the bite of like when you work a shitty job and you have to pay for your own house. Like sometimes you buy too much beer and guess what? You don't get to eat for a week. You know what I mean? Or like I made a dumb choice and now I don't have any water. Because I forgot to pay the fucking water bill, or I forgot to pay the light bill. You know, that kind of shit. Where,
to be fair, beer is a meal.
Maybe in the 90s when wheat was like at the bottom of the food pyramid for what you needed the most of, but since we've updated it, I don't think it's a meal anymore.
Well,
we don't need 9 servings of bread anymore.
Whatever. I still
per day.
I still use it as a meal every once in a while.
Whatever.
Oh, I'm not saying I don't. I'm just saying I think I'm just kidding.
That was my breakfast yesterday. Anyway, but I think it's a very textured song, and I like a lot of it.
For sure.
Anywho, all right, Nate, what you at? Where you at?
For number 1, I got Power Out, and it's just a fun. The drums in that are just then that. I don't know. It's just fun. It's
for sure.
Power Out's a good song. That one also reminds me of Modest Mouse. Like the whole composition of that song,
for sure,
reminds me of Modest Mouse.
For sure, and that's a we didn't talk about that one either, but that one's a really good one. I like that one a lot.
Yeah, I think we touched on it, but yeah, it is. It's fun. It's loud. It's audacious, I guess. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I can understand why you really like that song.
What about you, Drewski? What do you got for your number 1?
I'm gonna say In the Back Seat. For the reasons that Shane was talking about for its number 2. But it's just fucking gorgeous, man. I think it's the prettiest song on this album by like a lot. And I don't know. It's kind of easygoing. I know it's got a pretty heavy theme, but like when you look a little deeper, but it's kind of easygoing, and it's real easy to listen to, and it's fucking beautiful. The string quartet that they accompany this song with, I don't know if it's a full quartet or not, so apologize my ignorance for orchestral music, but I know there's at least like 3 stringed instruments here, and possibly the 4th. I'm not sure, but it's gorgeous. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I like.
Right on.
I like what you said, Andrew. That you can appreciate it on like 2 or 3 different levels. That it's a pretty song. That it has those strings and things like that. And then when you actually look into what's going on, you can really, really like appreciate it. You know what I mean? Like it's a very. It's like an onion. Ogres are like onions.
Ogres
right?
have layers.
There's layers, right?
Shrek is love. Shrek is life.
Awkward.
Smash Mouth is love. Smash Mouth is life.
Hey now, you're an all-star.
You're an all-star.
Alrighty, guys. Anything else y'all wanna mention about this album before we wrap her up?
I think I like this album better after talking about it than I did when I was listening to it.
Really? Well, that's good.
Well, we touched on a lot of stuff, and kind of
like meanings of songs. And
well, not necessarily just that.
Understanding it a little more.
That too, but just like, I guess just kind of doing a deeper dive into what is encompassed on this album, like not just the meanings of songs, but like how they approached it and what they did and how they did it, especially on a pretty small budget for an album, especially considering everything that's going on. So yeah, I think I have a bigger appreciation for it after really diving deep on it. Because I didn't dislike the album. It just didn't super speak to me. Anyway, anyone else?
No, I mean, this is a really great album. I like, I don't know. It's very textured. So the farther you want to go down that rabbit hole, the more you can, and really gonna get balls deep and really see that they have a lot to say as far as life goes, and and perceptions of life and what that means. And also, again, this is a debut album. Like this is
that's
their
nuts.
first one, and they fucking knocked it out of the fucking park.
For sure.
Anyway, with all that, all right, Andrew, here's the question. On a scale of Goodbye Yellow Brick Road to Slanted and Enchanted, where would you put this album?
Oh man. So I think I'm gonna put this around Wish You Were Here, Siamese Dream. So that's kind of middle for me. This
I would say that's about around 10.
Yeah, 8, 9, 10, somewhere in that area. From our 20 song list there. It didn't super speak to me, like I said. But I do have an appreciation for what they did, and I wouldn't be mad if I heard this come up. And, like I would be like, oh, hey, I remember this, and jam out to it, which is kind of where I'm at with those albums. So it's above Tommy, but it's still below Kill 'Em All. But Kill 'Em All is down at number 8 of 20. And I had nostalgia glasses for it, so it's hard to beat that. And it's nowhere near like Paul's Boutique or Mothership Connection. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's fun.
So
Right on.
So Nate, I have a question for you. When your alarm goes off to get out of bed, are you the kind of person that hits snooze a bunch of times before you get out of bed?
3 at most, but a lot of the times I'll get up and stay in bed for like 40 minutes before I actually get out, just like looking on my phone and doing stupid shit that I'm addicted to.
Okay.
But that's cut down a little bit since I got rid of Facebook.
Well, so on a scale of 1 to 40 minutes that you stay in bed before you wake up and get out of bed, how would you rate this album?
I have a somewhat updated, it hasn't been updated for a while, chart of where
say,
my rankings were. And I think I
say,
do need to update it again because I was ranking it against other songs that weren't on the list. Like, it's just like...
Sorry, I didn't know you had done that, so I was trying to give you an arbitrary scale like we had.
Yeah,
no, it's cool.
Nate's
cool.
I'm
playing
Nate's
along
been
at
playing
home.
along. Yeah.
So, unupdated on my list, I would say I haven't updated it since... I don't know what the last one was.
We only did the 20, and then we stopped. We haven't updated since.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Well, then I have a longer list than you do. I'm just kidding.
You're a better podcaster than we are.
No, I'd probably put it in between Led Zeppelin, Physical Graffiti, and Elton John, Yellow Brick Road, which would be at
oof, that
about the 6th spot for me. But that's unupdated. I need to redo it if I choose to go back and redo it. But that's where I'd put it in between Elton John and Led Zeppelin.
That hurts me a little bit, but I can appreciate that you're different than me.
I can appreciate your differences and I respect them, but they're bullshit.
But you're wrong. This song, there's probably like 6 tracks that are on my shuffle now on Pandora that I've just liked and put on my shuffle from this album, so it's hard to not put it that high.
I feel you. No, that's totally respectable,
sure.
man. If this really hits you in a good way, more power to you,
Yeah,
so that leaves Shane on a scale of Slanted Enchanted to Goodbye Yellow Brick Road. Where you at, buddy?
I'm going to put this right under Beck.
Okay. Wow.
So that's going to be number
That's pretty high,
3.
right?
That's
Yep.
his. That
Yeah.
would be his
Number
number
three.
4 spot.
Or 4.
Yeah, Beck is
that'd be
3.
number 4.
Yeah.
Yep.
So you got what? Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and then Radiohead, and then
No,
Beck.
Yeah.
off the
I
wall.
guess.
Goodbye Yellow Brick Road.
Oh, Off the Wall.
Off the Wall, Beck, and then right under here would be Beck, and then beyond that would be Paul's Boutique.
Okay.
So yeah, no, I right under Beck. I've loved this album forever. It's been a long time since I listened to it, and I never really kind of did this deep dive into what the songs are about or what they mean or anything like that. So it gave me more of an appreciation for this album than I had before, and it only gets better.
Fucking A, man. Well,
Anyway, that is all.
okay. Anybody else have any closing thoughts?
I not really on this album, but when I was listening to your Devo episode, you can cut this out since it's not related. When you said that there was that Hallelujah song by Jeff Buckley, I was thinking Keith Buckley, the singer from Every Time I Die. So I'm like, what the fuck?
Fuck.
No.
Yeah. I'm like,
Very
totally different.
Very different person.
It's a different sound altogether for sure.
Oh, fucking A. That's pretty good. I don't cut anything out, in case you're wondering, unless we take a pee break. That's like extended. But since we wove those in under the fabric, this episode will be pretty much uncut.
Yeah.
Anyway. Hey, thanks for listening, everybody. You can find us wherever you get your podcasts. Rate, review, subscribe. Talk to us on Facebook if you want to talk to us. That's where we'll respond. Nate, I know we've tried this a couple of times. Thanks for coming on. I really hope this one. I really hope this one worked out. It's always a fun time to fucking talk to you, man. And I really appreciate you, taking time out to come talk to music about us, with us.
Oh, thanks. Likewise. Love you guys.
Love you too, man.
For sure, man. Thank you so much. Love you too, Nate. Thank you so much for doing this again. Hopefully it'll stick. But we'll see. We'll see.
If not, I'll have my Audacity one-sided conversation I can just listen to.
Yeah, you could just respond to yourself. Oh yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah. Yeah, great point. God, this guy knows what he's fucking talking about.
Finally, I'm tired of these assholes getting it wrong. This guy right here, though, this guy's got it.
So
join my own echo chamber.
I'm probably this guy's number one fan.
No, I know that guy. I don't really like him too much, but I deal with him.
Fuck him. He's all right at best. That's when I look in the mirror, that's what I say. Fucking.
I'll deal with him for one more day.
God damn it! If I have to see this motherfucker again, I might kill myself tomorrow.
So
a hard cut. That's where we stop. All right, we're not just kidding. I'm gonna kill myself today.
Well, shit. No, that's what that's the thing. That's what I tell my students. I'm like, hey, man, if you don't talk on the thing, you have to listen to me. I can't stand me listening to me. So you motherfuckers need to start talking and shit. Like, cause I don't want to do this.
Anyway, all right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. Do all the things, say all the things. Love you. Bye.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Yeah. All right.